You snack impulsively instead of actually eating with intention. And you rely on the cravings to actually guide your decisions when it comes to eating and different foods. That's why meal planning is also very important, because it helps you avoid all of these things. Because once you fall into that trap, it's also hard to come out of, because that reward from your brain with the dopamine, it just reinforces that habit of saying, okay, maybe I don't eat and then I reward myself. But when you're rewarding yourself with so much sugar, it disrupts your system and your hunger cues and your fullness cues. So everything is put out of whack when you don't have structure to it. And so one of the things that you need to start doing is realizing that you need to prioritize the whole foods, because it's not to say all sugars are bad, but you still can get your sugars from fruit, from some vegetables. Because when you also prioritize fruits, veggies, protein, and minimally processed foods, you reduce the reliance on ultra processed foods. Because again, the food labels, like you said, those are warning signs. So the best thing is to eat food without warning labels, without the nutritional facts. So meaning, if you go and shop from your farmer's market, a place where there's natural food, or like local farm, if you know any farms in your area, support the local farmers and shop from there, and avoid the ultra processed foods. Because once you start like going into big box stores like Superstore, Walmart, Walgreens, Target, whichever places you go for your shopping for your groceries, if they have all the processed food in the world, it's going to be hard for you to maintain your health and control the amount of sugars that you are letting into your body. So you need to figure that out. And you also need to prioritize your protein and fiber, because now with the protein and fiber, they help improve your fullness and your blood sugar stability. So those are the things that you need to make sure that you prioritize in your diet. And just tracking everything, right, to build awareness. And by building awareness, you're able to understand, okay, this is how much sugar I'm eating in a day. Because if you track your food, you know the calories that you're supposed to eat, you know the carbs that you're supposed to eat, you know the sugar level of sugar, the grams of sugar that you need to eat per day. It's going to be easy for you to actually understand, like, okay, am I eating enough for the day, or I can eat maybe a snack if you still have in your caloric goals. And you don't have to overindulge, because now you have awareness. You know exactly what you're doing. And one of the things is that you need to understand is that context matters when it comes to sugar. Context matters, because sugar is in fruit, and it's not the same as the sugar in constant processed foods that you eat. So that intake is completely different. So the dose, the frequency, and the food quality matter a lot, because sugar is really just a blanket term for sugars, right? But you have different sugars. The sugars found in fruits are much, much healthier, because they're natural. They're derived from nature, just the way God intended. So we can have that. We can satisfy ourselves instead of eating processed sugars. Sugars derived and made in labs to enhance the sweetness of food. So that's why you have those artificial sweeteners, all of those things, not the things that you should be eating. So the other thing is, you stop swinging, or what you need to do is to stop swinging between restriction and binging. But you actually need to build structure and avoid the extremes, because the extremes also lead you to either the good side or the bad side. I mean, they lead you to a bad side at the end of the day, because you need to have something that's balanced, that's leaving you in a place where you've got sanity. Because we shouldn't really be overthinking about food or sugar to say, oh, should I eat this or should I eat that? Because on its own, it's not bad. But we have to exercise control and discipline. So if you're fasting, that's a different case, because you're intentionally fasting and you know the foods that you're supposed to nourish your body with after. your fast, when you're breaking that fast. So it's important, again, if you're fasting, you're someone who's fasting, to still eat a lot of fiber and to eat protein so that you stabilize your blood sugar. And then you can have your carbs from whole foods. That's what you put in your diet, and that's what you eat. So these are the things that we need to start really having a conversation around, not trying to swing from one extreme to another extreme, saying I'm cutting out this one thing because that is the enemy. That is not the way to do it. So this is really for you, like if you've been watching if you or whenever you join, but this video is really for you if you feel that you're controlled by your cravings, or you want to have clarity instead of these nutrition fear mongering influences just scream everywhere online, because you have to have the right mindset when it comes to nutrition and not panic anytime you hear someone coming up with something new saying, oh, no, don't do this, don't do that, right? You have to take a moment to just be calm, understand, okay, where do I put this? Where's the context for this claim that's being made? And if you're ready to build discipline and awareness around food, you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention. But if you're someone who's like, no, I just want a quick villain to blame, I want to blame food, I don't want to take responsibility for being fat, and you say that I'm comfortable with it, or you're looking for some extreme diet because you want to punish yourself, this is not for you. This is completely not for you. And if you refuse to take ownership of your eating habits, like all of this is not for you, what we're talking about, because you're someone who doesn't care.